Hi there, my name is Isaac Oster. I'm a senior technical artist with Imagendary Studios, and I wanted to make a series of videos outlining the process for creating the spinning logo. It was made in Unreal 5. You can see here the components that are in the level. We have a blueprint. There's a Cinecam background, just a simple plane with a black material on it. Post-process volume, I've got one thing happening in there. And then there is a sequence that triggers a few events and controls the camera position and a few other things. And then the sun and sky that comes with a plugin available for free in Unreal that I use for some lighting stuff. So let's start by, and there's also some Niagara systems and a couple of materials. So we'll go through probably most of this stuff just to cover all the bases and make sure that there aren't any outstanding questions. To begin, we can talk about the geometry. Made in Zbrush. I have several courses in creating hard surface geometry in Zbrush on my ArtStation page, and I encourage you to check them out if you're interested in that kind of thing. We can take a look at the geo here and the blueprint. It's not retopped, it's just the high poly. There were no performance-oriented concerns for this little project, and I wasn't doing anything with the where I would need a low poly with a bake on it. This is just a simple metal material. So there are a lot of pieces though. I think there might be 45 or maybe 50 pieces. And they're just kind of dumped in the main outliner thing here. There's some other stuff as well, but each piece here has a couple of things. It has, well, I guess really only one thing, and it's organized in a specific way, but there's a tag. So I have a tag. Oh yeah, there's a couple of tags. So logo geometry is kind of the important one. I can't even remember if I ended up using this one, but tags are cheap and it's a good way to do some of the organizational stuff. There is also a plane in here. This plane has a material on it that has a heat ripple effect, and I'll show you the setup for that. There's some Niagara systems. This explosion pulse thing is a sphere that I scale up at the exact right moment. This is not actually a rectangular light. This is just an empty actor. I just need to probably rename that. But there are a couple point lights in here. And what I do fairly early on in the process is these guys spin around the asset, I believe vertically, or whatever this, looks like the y-axis this way. The blueprint logic handles that. And one of them is, I think, blue. I don't know. I can't see the color here. I might set it procedurally. Oh, I can't actually select them because the plane's in the way. One's blue and one's what's kind of orange. So anyway, and then I've got some logo letters. Those are down there. And those just kind of rotate in. And then, yeah, like a whole bunch more of these guys, just a piece of geometry. Some more Niagara systems. Another point light in the front. And probably there's some way that I could organize this a little bit better. But Blueprint doesn't care. So it wasn't that difficult to pick the things that I needed when I need them. Okay. So there is all of the stuff. Here's the event graph. I'm not going to go into it right now, but there's kind of a lot of things happening. We will cover this in more detail in another video. I'm not sure what I need to compile there, but we'll go ahead and do it. And then let's see. So we have the sequencer. Sequencer is going to have access to the blueprint, and it's going to fire off events within the blueprint at various points. And then it's got the Cinecamera actors, so we're going to move the camera back and forth. Actually, let me go ahead and select it. I think I can just click this guy there. So there's going to be some camera movement. There's our little pulse and got a little rotation on there. And then the sun and sky. And all I'm really doing on the sun and sky is just animating the intensity. So you can see here that is dropping precipitously as we go towards this last key. And then, yeah, pretty much everything else is handled by the blueprint. So we can take a look at some of the Niagara systems here. There are two sets of ashes. One of them is the burst, and then one of them is the ones that come up from the bottom after the pulse when everything is sort of in its cool down phase. And there are two of these shooting stars. The spinning stars are the ones at the beginning, and the shooting stars are the ones that transition in. I'll show you kind of what those look like here. So these initial blue ones here, those are the spinning stars, and then they kind of fade out, and then we've transitioned into the shooting stars at this point. So the primary difference between the two is there are some additional parameters on the shooting stars that I need to control, and the spinning stars have a light renderer. The light renderer was causing some pretty nasty shadows with all of the particles associated with shooting stars. So I disabled it and we just do our lighting with these guys here. So, okay, let's see. Some materials. We can talk about the materials in the next video. I kind of just want to do like a very high level thing. Cool. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the intro. And in the next one, I guess we'll probably tuck into the blueprint.